the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, yeah. Super fly for the dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence for my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, about the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Texans. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
They go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
3rd and long for Prescott. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. Taking it about the 16. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Now a handoff looking right. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Christian Kirk, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. He's going to float this one. Deep right. It's caught inside the 25. They give him a gain of 38.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, Can you reward yourself by keeping him on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And they'll go on the ground. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. And you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, it didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
They keep it with Miller on first down. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This is taken at his 4. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And unsuccessful there, trying to dump it underneath. That'll bring up 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Oh, twisting away. 1 minute, 53 ticks left to go in this first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Throwing now is Mahomes. Out left to Shaheen. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Working from the gun, Mahomes flushed out right. And that is incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Now Mahomes able to find Shaheen, the tight end. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, Mahomes escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Mahomes to throw once more. Washington with the catch, middle of the field. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Texans on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Got an open man, it's Washington. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And again, it's Mahomes. Steps away to his left. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Cowboys have recovered.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore. You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On second down, it's McCoy. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. A give to McCoy. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on fourth down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Fielded just inside the 20. So we now proceed to the start of the second half. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets it down to the 32. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Mahomes now to throw. Able to find Shaheen here. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And the ball is knocked out. And the ball ends up out of bounds, so it'll be a loss on the play.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
It'll be a gain of 6, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Now they try the right side here. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Cowboys defense is going to get him the football back. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start on the ground with McCoy. Oh, now he bowls him over. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 3, 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just 1 big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This will be fielded at the 17. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Now here's Mahomes. He'll fight a man over the middle. It's Washington. And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
They'll try and get the running game going with McCoy. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Prescott now on second down. That is caught at the 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. They'll give it to him up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Prescott now. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's 5. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. The Texans on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Here we go.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this out to the 47. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. And no, it's incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Cowboys' defense is going to get them the football back. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
2nd down, Prescott. Got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. The Cowboys on 3rd down. As bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Third and long for Prescott. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. picked by Kendall Fuller. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the two-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll get this one up to the 26. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Back to throw, Mahomes. Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. And they take a knee. Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here, when they're taking a knee, is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathed a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Texans, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
What's up, gang?
Let me go secure for the game right quick.
Hey, what's up, gang?
I got it.
I think it's my fault.
For real.
What's up,
Keep the
gang?
rest.
Hey, I got that chicken to go.
I'm gone.
A lot of these was lost. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that car. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce.
Good drip. Good drip.
But she love you, don't cut your.
Yeah,
Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These act like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you get off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be out. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Act like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you a voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie got the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. They sit on my house. I got that chicken to go. A lot of these was lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No car. I want that car. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce.
Good drip.
But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Put your hands in your fingers. Your ears with